Hey guys, hoping all is well with everyone. So in this video, we're going to be reading the conclusion of the 7th level by Jody Feldman. So we're going to be starting today with chapter 33, but just a quick recap of chapter 31 and 32. In chapter 31, Travis and Randall were trying to stand up for themselves to point out the fact that they were not responsible for all of the big messes that they were being confronted and put in trouble for, especially Travis trying to stand his ground. And then they called Mrs. Pinchon and Mr. McKenzie to, set up a plan so they would avoid trouble. But at the same time, they were worried because whoever's doing this is going to be able to come after them, even if like the police and stuff are called. And in the chapter 32, Travis got another shiny envelope that someone gave his dad, and he was trying to put the final pieces of the legend puzzles together. So right now he just made a key and got into room 117, like a special toxic room. So we're gonna see what happens in chapter 33. It would be a normal school staircase going down one flight into the basement, but normal school staircases aren't behind toxic closet doors and don't require keys. They do lead to halls like this one does. I follow the string of blue twinkle lights, which ends at another bar-locked door. I put my key in and rotate it up. Standing on the other side of the door, which his or her back toward me, is someone in the legend's blue robe. The person motions for me to walk ahead toward an open entry. I take 3 steps and glance back at the person's walking the way I just came in, closing the door between us. I hear it lock. I continue to a barely lit room that is probably a half-sized extra gym the school doesn't use anymore. I saw it on an old fire escape map. The room looks smaller than on the map, but it was a wood slat gym floor and probably cinder block walls behind the blue curtains on the sides. A screen suspended from the ceiling shows clips of different Legend events, some from during my time at Lauer, but most from before. My Lin from my grade is in the first of 7 chairs back near the entry. In the second is Randall, an oafish grin on his face, probably like mine. I take the third. No one tells us to be quiet, but it's like talking would break a magic spell. So we keep grinning and watching and waiting. Soon, Sari Wolf, the one who doesn't ew at worms, comes in. After her, one by one, 3 sixth graders fill the other chairs. The video stops. 7 spotlights shine on the floor like an invitation to move forward. We do. Then, appearing from 2 front corners as if they've walked through the walls, blue-robed people parade in and stand before us. A match lights a candle in the first person's hand, which lights another, and I look around, find the exits, see the fire alarm and extinguisher. Pay attention again. By now, all the candles are lit and illuminating the faces of the Legend members. First 7 8th graders, then Natalie Levin, then Matti and Kip. The first 8th grader whispers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They all nod and nod their voices, whisper in unison. It started with 7. 7 students. 7 pranks, 7 problems, 7 minds, looking for solutions. They found them, and in turn, they founded the legend. The legend. The voices echo and roll, the words repeating like a wave, one on top of the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, comes the first hushed voice. They file to the right, circle away from us, place their candles into holders, then return to the straight line, with 7 of them holding up blue robes. No one says anything, but it's like we're sucked into their ceremony and know to step forward, turn around, and let them help us into our robes. I zip mine up. We stand there, still. The other circles around us, now with their hoods off, once, twice, and they keep going. All I can wonder is why they picked me. I'm not possibly as smart as they are. But I am here. I'm here. After 7 circles, they stop in front of us. The first girl speaks. You have solved the puzzles and followed the trail that's led you to perhaps the most secret middle school club ever established. The Legend. Now the second girl. You are all unique, yet you all possess each of our 7 qualities: intelligence, creativity, kindness, ingenuity, leadership, spirit, and energy. You are made of the stuff of the legend. The third person, a boy. The fact that you are standing here today provides you are worthy of reaching. 3 words appear on this wall in front of us. The 7th level, says all the voices. The symbol of the legend, the square over the triangle, is now beamed onto the wall. I grow this goofy smile. I'm here, at the end. The 7th level, our highest level, says the next boy. Level 1, the voices say in unison. You are identified. Level 2, you are selected. Level 3, you choose to play. Level 4, you solve our problems. Level 5, you deliver what's asked of you. Level 6, you learn our secrets. Level 7, you continue our tradition. If you are ready, says the 5th person in line, please raise your hand. I raise my hand. The 6th person, another girl, steps forward and refers to a book in her hand. Do you solemnly promise to keep everything you say and do today a secret? That you speak only of the legend with others who are members? That you speak with them only in a place you know is secure? That you welcome all future legend members as we welcome you today? That you not reveal any fellow members as part of the legend? That you contribute to the rich legacy of the legend? And that you act honorably at all times, whether you're representing the legend or not? I do, we all say. Welcome to the tradition of the legend, says the last 8th grader. And your traditions begin with another secret. Our secret code word, our password, a term you can use to alert us to situations that require our official attention. They all whisper so softly I can't understand. Then they start turning up their volume, repeating the same word. Look out. Look out. Look out. Look out. Look out. The spell is broken. The lights come up. The last 8th grader steps to the front of the room. It's time to look out for our legendary adult leader and legend member, Mrs. Bloom. Dressed in a blue robe, she walks in from the right front corner. With the lights on, I can see how the legend members appeared. The wall in front of us stops just short of the walls on the side. I wonder what's behind the front one. I'll have to find out later. Randall turns to me. Mrs. Bloom was in the legend? Many of us are part of the legend, she says. 17 active members at this time of year. 10 when our 8th graders moved to the high school, she pauses. There's been a lot of magic today, she continues, but it's time to break from the mystical for now. Mrs. Bloom motions to the legend symbol. You'll count 7 points to our symbol. 7 points you needed to fulfill. 7 puzzles to solve. 7 objects to collect. To our right, the wall curtain opens part way. Behind it are 7 displays, mostly groups of pictures. I see my shirt button, my trash can, my nails, my doorknob, and my papers. These weren't random objects, Mrs. Bloom says. They represent all the items we need to construct a wishing well, the centerpiece of the next school-wide legend event. The curtain opens all the way to reveal a giant diagram of a wishing well, plus a full-size trash can, bucket, rope, bricks, pieces of wood, nails, and real supplies we'll use to build it. Our goal, she says, is to find a way to grant 3 student wishes, randomly chosen. But more about that another time. We have other secrets to unveil first. Mrs. Bloom nods toward the old members. An 8th grader hands each of us a booklet. On the front it says, Lauer Middle School Handbook. Pure genius. If someone drops one of these in the hallway, no kid will ever open it. But I'm opening it now. It looks like school rules, but starting on page 7, there's a chunk of legend information stuck right in the middle of other generic school stuff. You'll discover much of importance in here, Mrs. Bloom says, like how to access our semi-hidden page on our website. Who's found that? I raise my hand. So do Randall, Sari, and a 6th grader. Then the 4 of you need a username and a password to get beyond that. Your username is merely your last name, but backward. Your password, you'll learn, is not in the handbook, but you will need the handbook to figure it out each time we change it. We'll explain how that works when your minds aren't so full from today. Temporarily use lookout, alternating capitalization, uppercase and lowercase. Before that sinks in, she repeats what she said on Money Booth Day, that the teachers aren't told anything about the legend except on a need-to-know basis. Then she lets us in on so many more secrets, my head's about to spin off. I know you won't remember everything you've learned, Mrs. Bloom says. Thank goodness, I say. She laughs. That's why we have the book and website. For now, though, we celebrate. I feel a hand grab my sleeve. Matti drags me through the front corner of the room to a smaller room stocked with a huge cake, popcorn, candy, and enough sugar drinks to keep me whirled for the rest of my life. Kip comes over and we toast with 3 Musketeer bars. Then I go around the table and inhale a hunk of cake. I'm in the legend! The legend! And I can't stop the hooting inside my head until Randall comes up from behind. He leans over. I just wanted to ask if there's anything else you need to know. Huh? From what I said earlier, the cap and Jackie Muggs. Is there anything else? No, I say. We're good. We're good? Yeah, except, why am I doing this? You stare at us during lunch sometimes. Sorry. You can eat with us, you know. He straightens up, a grin growing on his face. Then he goes to attack the cake. Mrs. Pinchon has come in, and she witnessed the whole thing. She opens her brown eyes wide. Things aren't always as they appear, are they? I smile. Nope. Nope, indeed. Then she gets a serious look on her face. Are you ready, Mr. Raines? Have you filled in your accomplices? I'll do that now. I grab Matti and Kip. How'd Randall get in here? Kip asks. I should have listened to my gut, says Matti. I was right that day, wasn't I? Yeah, I say, and he'll be eating lunch with us from now on. Huh? Kip's lips go pale. He's harmless. I'll explain later, but there's something else I have to explain now. I wave Randall over. Randall already knows this, I say. The 4 of us need to leave the party for a while. We can't, Kip says. This is the biggest party you'll ever... I know, I say, and Mrs. Pinchon knows too. Believe me, you will want to do this. I explain the plan. Chapter 34. To make this work, it can't look like we're conspiring. Mrs. Pinchon shows me all 7 basement fire exits before she and Randall use 2 of them, and Matti and Kip use another. I go back through Mrs. Bloom's room and peek out the door. Down the hall, Mr. McKenzie signals that the all clear. I head his way, and he stays a distance in front of me to troubleshoot, just in case. But we believe all the fake legend people will be waiting where Randall should be by now. The clock in the hall shows 2:01. I stall for about 5 minutes, then go to the meeting place, climb over the gate, and down the stairs. I put on my swagger and pull open the door. Randall's there. So are Marco and 5 other oafs. They're all double my height and triple my weight, and if I mess up, I'm gonna be someone's snack. You're late, Marco says. He is the leader. Better late than caught. He takes a step toward me. What do you mean? They were complications. I look at everyone there. One of you was behind the back bushes this morning watching. Who? It doesn't matter, Marco says. Why do you need to know? Whoever was there saw Mr. McKenzie yelling at me and Randall. I saw part of it, says Carl. So? So after that, I needed an alibi. I've been waiting for my guy for 15 minutes. He didn't show, I say. But forget him. Why are we here? Like I told the others, says Marco. You're here because of the legend. Ha! But I need to let him play his game. I smile. Big. We're the legend. Gotcha! He slaps high fives all around. We got all of you! So what are we? The anti-legend? I ask. I'm getting to that. Marco turns around. It's time, Carl. Go! Carl runs up the stairs, then disappears from my sight. Here's the deal, says Marco. The raw deal. The legend rules everything, and it's not fair. We didn't elect them. They don't know what we want. His voice keeps getting louder. And why is everything they do blue? They don't own blue. We proved that. We put our messages in blue envelopes. We pranked with blue paint. We'll show them. They're self-appointed suck-ups who wouldn't get into trouble to save their lives. I try not to look at Randall. And they get all the credit. We can do legendary things too. He high-fives all around. We started with bubblegum for 6th grade. Good going, Rains. Next week it's rubber frogs for 7th grade. And we'll all decide what's for 8th grade. All of us. 4 of us started this, and we picked you because you have guts. You've been shoved around, and none of you will ever be part of the so-called Legend of Lauer. I keep myself from laughing. And now that you're with us, you're in for life. You've already pranked, so if you back out, you're dead meat with the principals, the police, and with us. Together we will do things the school will never forget, like what we're doing today. I'm ready to get out of here, put my plan into action. Know it's gonna work. Denvy, you got the liquid soap. Rains, you've got the syrup. We poured them into buckets Cranston got. He points to the gross mixture. We'll slap it around with the mops and brooms. We also swiped graffiti markers. He pounds on the door that goes into the school, the one with the alarm. When Carl comes around and opens up, we go inside and... Travis! Travis Rains. Kip's right on cue. Travis Rains. His voice grows louder. He's not here, Matti shouts. Now we'll be late. Here's your alibi, Rains. That suck-up snitch. Marco comes towering over me. He's the reason I got detention last month. Why do you think I tried to axe his hat? Marco's about to pummel me, and it looks like Carl, who just came in through the school side door, is ready as his backup. He doesn't know why I'm here. I swear. I look Marco in the eye. I have to get rid of him before he starts poking around. Marco's hands curl into a fist. If you say anything, I won't. And I'll take a witness. I turn. Randall, come on. Yeah, says Marco. You watch him, Randall. I run up the stairs and jump over the gate before he changes his mind. Randall's right behind me. We jog toward Matti and Kip. Where were you? Says Matti. And what's the oaf doing here? He's good, I say. He's our new friend. Take us as a package or forget it. Forget it, Matti yells. You don't control me. You don't say what I do or not do. I glare at Matti. She glares back at me. Inside, I'm laughing. Fine, I say. Go with your little boyfriend, the two of you. Just give me my note first. I can't believe I'm doing this, says Kip. You are such a jerk. Poor Kip can't act to save his life. At least he's loud. He reaches into one pocket, then frantically into all of them. Randall gets up real close to him. Give him his note. Kip shrinks back. I don't know where it is. He runs, searching the ground. That was our only stall tactic. The police were supposed to be here by now. Leave it to Matti to keep this act going. She pulls a pen and pad of paper from her purse. Just write another one, Kip. Come on. I yell. I don't have all day. Hurry! I don't know if Randall is talking to Kip or urging the police to get here. Kip takes the cap off the pen and opens the pad, stall mode style. He writes an "Finally!" Flash of metal. The police stride from the parking lot. I head point in their direction. Get out of here, I say to Matti, Kip, and Randall. I rush toward the stairwell, bug out my eyes, frantically wave my arms back and forth in warning. I mouth, "Police!" But even those cruds can read my lips. They're toast. I book it around the corner, into the side door where Randall's standing with Mrs. Pinchon. Where are Matti and Kip? I send them back to the festivities, says Mrs. Pinchon. I hand her my voice-activated tape recorder. I'm proud of you, she says, and I'm sorry I ever doubted you. I guess you had reason. A smile beams from her face but fades fast. You do understand, she says. Those kids will implicate both of you, and I won't be able to ignore it. You weren't totally innocent. Randall takes in a small gasp. He's not used to being in trouble, I say. I know, says Mrs. Pinchon. So, Mr. Raines. Mr. Denby. Appropriate punishment? I laugh. Mrs. Pinchon's cell phone rings. She steps aside. We're in trouble, Travis, Randall whisper yells. You have to take this more seriously or you'll make it worse. It's okay, I say to him. I know what I'm doing. Mrs. Pinchon ends her call. So you were saying, Mr. Raines, appropriate punishment? I smile, big. We'll be waiting outside our houses by 7 o'clock Monday morning. You'll be our bus, our bicycle, and our legs for the week, and we get the honor and privilege of spending the mornings and afternoons in your office. Perfect. Randall looks ill, but he'll get over it. It's not that bad, Randall. Really. And don't worry, Mr. Denby, she says. Your parents and coaches will know it's only for your protection. No permanent record. He nods. And now, Mrs. Pinchon says, they need you back downstairs. You're not finished. Chapter 35. I don't get a chance to catch my breath. I don't get a chance to imagine what happened when the police charged in or when Mrs. Pinchon got there afterward. You think they really arrested them? I ask Randall. I don't know, but if I get a whole week in Mrs. Pinchon's office, I hate to see what they get. I don't hate to see. I'm excited to see. Hey, Trav, Randall says. Thank you. For what? You didn't have to help me this morning or save me this afternoon. I shrug. I guess I didn't. We go back into Mrs. Bloom's room, through the toxic closet, and downstairs, where the other Legend members are playing video games and pinball and banging away on computers that were hidden by the other side curtain. Mrs. Bloom waves us over. I assume you've taken care of business. Yes, we did. She gathers everyone together. As Legend members, she says, you'll find you'll always need to be ready for the unexpected. The unexpected happened earlier this morning, but the situation is now under complete control, thanks to Randall and Travis. People clap for us. Except for soccer, I don't think anyone's clapped for me before. Not when I truly deserved it. I try to stop smiling. I do stop myself from taking a bow. Thank you for your patience, Mrs. Bloom says. The lights go down. The screen jumps to life and shows a person in a blue robe. He steps into the light and lowers his hood. It's Chase Macklin! Most of you know that I am an original legend. Being a legend not only helped me give me the confidence to launch my career, it also taught me the importance of being an honorable person, doing my best, and giving back, even a little, to the people and communities that have given me so much. Past Legend members will tell you, my new partners, that I make every attempt to be there for this piece of your initiation. Today, however, it was impossible. I do promise I'll make it up to you soon. He winks. See ya. The screen goes blank. See ya? You think he really means it? I say to Randall. Matti leans over from behind. Just wait. For what, Matti? Wait for what? Mrs. Bloom comes to the front of the room. "It's time to go," she says. "Already?" My mouth can't help it. "Already," she says. "But your day isn't over." She leads us through a side door, down one hall, then another. We climb a staircase to the storage room with desks and tables and chairs and boxes and an exit door. We're at the side loading dock. There's a bus backed up to the edge, its rear doors split open, perpendicular to the school, butting the walls and acting as a shield to the outside. No one sees us slide inside. I recognize this. It's the same bus I rode in to deliver school supplies in October. The one with the sofa-type seats and this dark glass. The one from Lookout Transportation Services. Lookout! The legend! I follow Matti and Kip and buckle up in one of the front sofa sections with the rest of the 7th and 6th graders. The 8th graders take the area in the rear. The bus inches forward, then stops. Mrs. Bloom and Mrs. Pinchon close the back doors. "Everybody in?" calls the bus driver. "Let's go," says Mrs. Bloom. She sits with the 8th graders. Mrs. Pinchon sits with us. I look at her. "Mrs. Pinchon," I say. "Yes, Mr. Raines? With the bad guys, you really had my back today." She nods. "I have always had your back, Travis. Believe it or not." I mostly believe it, and I settle in, pretty much grinning, and I realize something. That really smart kid, Cambridge, isn't a legend. Neither are some others I swear would be. "Mrs. Pinchon," I say, "how'd I get here?" She laughs. "I mean, lots of kids are smarter than me. Why me?" "You have the 7 qualities," she says. "You all do." Now everyone is listening. "You need to be smart to be part of the legend, but it takes more than brains." She keeps explaining, but I'm not used to hearing so many good things from principals. That makes it hard to believe. So I quit paying attention, and while my mind's replaying the part when we busted Marco and the real oafs, she finishes talking, and everything's quiet again. Shouldn't we be laughing, shouting, celebrating? We're in the legend! The legend! All of us here. But where's here? And why hasn't anyone asked yet? We stop at a red light. "I need to ask a question," I say so everyone can hear. "Where are we going?" Finally, the bus driver lifts his glass. "It's about time one of you new people asked." As he turns toward me, his tiger chain whips around. "Has anyone told you I have a recording studio in town?" he says. "And have any of you sung background vocals on an album?" Chase Macklin winks before he drives on. My mouth gapes open. "Are you kidding me?" I say to Matti over the cheers. She shakes her head, laughs. "This is real." "Is it always like this?" "You have no idea," she says. "There's always more." "More?" I tighten my seatbelt to keep from jumping through the roof. I'm ready for more. Always. And that concludes the end of the seventh level by Jody Feldman. I hope you guys enjoyed that story and read along. I thought it was a really great read. But I hope to see you guys in our next read along. And as always, guys, please take good care of yourselves. And thank you so much for watching. Take good care.